What's up, you guys? Nomicon here, bringing you my perspective as to what Entertainment is bringing us. And today we'll be talking about Mega Man 7, which was released on September 1995 for the SNES at the US. It has received positive reviews from critics, but it was critics criticized for not bringing anything new to the series. 7 games in. Especially since at the time, Mega Man X came out and was a huge surprising success for Capcom, launching a new franchise for the Blue Bomber. Mega Man 7 actually doesn't start off with you choosing a robot master. Rather, you automatically go to the prologue, where you see the chaos and destruction caused by Dr. Wily. Mega Man decides to look further into the aftermath, and lo and behold, we were introduced to Bass and Treble, who have become fan favorites within the franchise since then. I thought the game is pretty solid. Probably a top 3 Mega Man game, if I'm being honest. That is most likely a hot take for a lot of y'all. I like the controls, I like the graphics, the designs of the Robot Masters, and the difficulty is just right. It's an easy game, but there are some sections where it does test your patience. I also really like the music in that game. Mega Man rarely misses when it comes to the music, and 7 does not disappoint in that regard. In terms of the weapons, while I rarely used all of them, I did find some of them to be neat. I mainly use the junk shield, for example, though I sometimes also use the ice cracker and the thunderbolt. What I really liked about this game is whenever you use a specific weakness to a robot master, they do a unique damage animation, which tells you to use that specific weapon on them if you want to defeat them easily. I like that. It's pretty charming. There is one fatal flaw that I had to acknowledge. So notice that I noticed that I said that the game is mostly easy. Well, but even though it is easy, there are some things where there are some times where it does test your patience. Well, I say that because in the final battle against Wily, he has two phases, just like any other Mega Man game. The first phase, while time consuming, is all right. It's I wouldn't say it's easy, but it does get the job done. The second part, oh my god, who the fuck designed that? So after defeating the first part, Wily goes to his hoverboard and throws ice, fire, and lightning out of fucking nowhere. They go around so quickly and they move around so freely, you have no time to react. And there's no pattern too. Like once you can get like one part like you can get all 3 parts at once, and the second part you get all fire at once. The worst part is that how much damage you take. With thunder, you take regular damage, but fire takes almost half of your health. It's insane. As for ice, you only freeze for a couple of seconds. But the problem is you can't get out unless you take damage. So it's it's really bullshit, honestly. So you have to be prepared to lose a lot of your health, and you need to get you need to get e takes. Like I highly recommend you get e takes as so because and it doesn't help that over half of your weapons are basically useless against him. I had to use Ice Cracker, Thunderbolt, and the Wild Coil to put him down. It took me hours to defeat him. Probably the hardest boss in the classic Mega Man series. But yeah, please buy as many E-Tanks as you possibly can, because this boss will test your patience. Trust me. But Mega Man 7 didn't do so hot financially speaking, selling over 200,000 copies when it launched. It was probably because people were mainly focusing on Mega Man X, which was the newest and coolest kid on the block at the time. Which I don't blame anyone. That game is a 2D platforming classic. Fun fact: the game was developed only for a couple of months. Yeah, the game was developed under a tight schedule, and because of that, Keiji Inafune had to give up his duties as an artist to Hayato Kaji to see how development has progressed. Overall, I like Mega Man 7. It's definitely definitely a pretty fun time to be around. I like I like the graphics. I like the gameplay. I like the level designs. I like the robot masters. It's a pretty easy game, barring the final boss. But yeah, if I would definitely recommend this game to anyone that hasn't played any Mega Man game. Definitely a easy game. Although I still stand by to buy as many E tanks as you can, and use Ice Cracker, Thunderbolt, and Wild Coil. Those are the only weapons that are useful against Wily. But otherwise, if any for any of you guys that have played Mega Man 7, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and also check out my Instagram backlogged and letterbox down in the description down below. You can also join my Discord server if you want to, also down in the description down below. This is Namicon, and I'll see you next time.